What's going on, YouTube? Today we got 10 reasons why Michael Jordan is the GOAT. We already know this, but we gonna keep, you know what I'm saying, getting the information, getting the knowledge, because this all leads to what LeBron has to do to be the GOAT, because LeBron still got time. He's still rolling. He's still moving. He's still doing his thing, But the last Michael Jordan reaction will be at the end of the video. Stay tuned for that. Turn on post notifications. Let's get into it. I'm a little smacked up. I'm all full, y'all. I had to...
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. And today we're going to be talking about the greatest basketball
I'm in a
player
good spot,
of all
right?
time.
Let me know.
That is Michael Jeffrey
I got to check.
Jordan.
I ain't gonna lie.
And I'm going to be giving you guys 10 reasons why Michael Jordan is the greatest player of all time. Now, before I dive in, if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to the channel. And if you can,
Oh my
this video
God, that's a different
it'll help me out
dunk, bro.
tremendously. Also, if you find this video very informative, send it to other people who think Jordan is the GOAT or doesn't think he's the GOAT. I think this video will change a lot of minds and even reassure things you already believe. So with that being said, let's get into the video. So first up at number 10 of why I think MJ is the GOAT is because he's the greatest scorer in NBA history. When it comes to scoring, Jordan is first in regular season points per game, he's first in playoff points per game, and he's first in finals points per game. He has the most seasons averaging over 30 points per game, and he also has the most playoff runs averaging over 30 points per game. And when it comes to the playoffs, Jordan is also impressive, having the most 50-point games as well as the most 40-point
What's Braun's stats, though?
playoff games.
You not gonna tell us Braun's stats?
He has the most consecutive 10-point
I'm
games.
saying, I just want to know.
1,041. That is playoffs and regular season included. He also never scored under 15 points in a playoff game, and he has more 50-point playoff games than he has sub-20-point playoff games. Another impressive scoring feat. Also on MJ's resume, he's a 10-time scoring champion, the most ever. He won 7 consecutive scoring titles, also the most ever, and he led the playoffs in scoring 10 different times, again the most ever, with 6 of those years being consecutive, again the most ever. And Jordan in his career averaged over 40 points per game in a playoff series 5 different times, and he's responsible for 5 of the 7 highest scoring playoff series in NBA history. And when it comes to the NBA Finals, he has the highest points per game average for a final series at 41 points per game. And the cherry on top, he also has the highest scoring playoff game in NBA history at 63 points. So that is why I think Jordan is the greatest scorer of all time. Now, in addition to being a great scorer, Jordan was also dominant on the defensive end, and that is reason number 9. Jordan was dominant on both ends of the court, offense and defense.
Boys, wow.
9 all-defensive first teams, the most ever in NBA history. He was an MVP and a Defensive Player of the Year in the
Damn, this is hard to even back up Braun. He got different Johns and different each reason he got different stats, a whole bunch of stats, crazy stats, record holding stats.
Same season, and he was the first player to ever accomplish that feat. He was also the first player to ever have 200 steals and 100 blocks in a single season, and he is still the only player in NBA history with multiple 200 steal, 100 block seasons. In addition to that, he led the NBA in steals 2 times, and he has the second most blocks in NBA history for a shooting guard. And in his prime, he could guard 1 through 4 fairly effectively. He couldn't guard 5s, but 1 through 4, he could definitely hold those guys. And at his absolute peak, he was explosive, had great quickness, and was a dynamic defender. And later on in his career, he was a much smarter defender, had a much higher basketball IQ and a defensive IQ. He was more measured, he didn't gamble, but still he was a great team defender as well as a great individual defender. And that separates Jordan from all the other great players in NBA history. Now, something else that separates Jordan from virtually every other player in NBA history is that he never folded in the finals. And that is reason number 8. If you go through NBA history and look at the top 10 players of all time, all those guys had a down moment in the finals. Tim Duncan in 2013 had the horrible missed layup. Magic in 84, he choked numerous times at the free throw line, as well as dribbling the clock out. Bird in 81 did not play up to his great standards. LeBron in 2011 absolutely choked. Kobe in 04 shot his team out of the series. and Kareem in '84 looked old and he looked washed on the biggest stage. For Jordan, you simply cannot look to any moment in the finals where he didn't show up for his team in '91 through '98, being a 6-time champion and winning all 6 of those times. Now, something else very impressive at reason number 7 is that Jordan is the best playoff performer in NBA history. When it comes to the playoffs, he's the all-time leading points per game scorer. He has the most points ever in a playoff run. He has the most 30-point games in a playoff run. He has the most 40-point games in a final series. He has the most playoff runs, averaging over 30 points per game. He has the most series averaging 40 plus.
Yeah, y'all think Braun got some stats like these? Just asking. I think Braun got some, you can't.
Points per game.
Come on, man. Show some love to Braun, man. Damn. It's over.
Scored in one playoff series ever. That was his first
Braun,
ever series. And he only averaged
this is a lot.
30 points per game one time in his career for a playoff run, and that was also his rookie year.
Only one time in his career is crazy, bro. That's crazy. And the pace was so slow back then. A few videos ago, I seen a joint that said Mike in one of the finals or one of the playoffs, he accounted for 38% of the Bulls' points, bro. That's just ridiculous. I can't, like...
Where he averaged 29 a game. Also some great evidence of why Jordan is the greatest playoff performer of all time. He has the most 50 and 40-point playoff games. He has the most consecutive 10-point playoff games in NBA history.
38, 40 Bulls.
And if you're keeping count, Jordan in his career only played 1,072 games. So yes, he never scored under 10 points in a playoff game. And I think when you talk about Jordan in the playoffs, he was always an unstoppable force, a great scorer, a great all-around player on defense, passing, rebounding. He could do it all for your team. And the only way you could stop Jordan if you played like the Pistons or like the Knicks and you had 4 guys focusing on him at all times. If you didn't have a great team defense and a great team chemistry, you weren't even going to compete with Michael Jeffrey Jordan. So all those reasons are why I would say that Jordan is the greatest player performer of all time.
Cramming on that.
Now at reason number 6, we have the fact that Jordan dominated his era. From 91 to 98, Jordan won 4 MVPs, 6 championships, 6 Finals MVPs, the 6-time scoring champion. He made first-team All-NBA and first-team All-Defense 6 times.
The dominance. That's what I like to look at, bro. The dominance he had over his era is ridiculous. He had it all. He was so superior over his competition. And I think that's how we should look at the GOAT. Like, if you got to be superior over your competition for real, bro. And I'm going to start holding myself to that standard, and y'all got to catch me when I start chatting.
During that stretch, was absolutely dominant. They won 60-plus games all but 1 year. And 2 of those years, they won 72 games.
It's like, Braun. Nah, I'm going to talk about it in a little bit.
And during that whole stretch from 91 98, when the Bulls had Jordan playing, they never lost 3 games in a row, whether that be the regular season or the playoffs.
69-plus games twice. It's ridiculous.
And when Jordan was playing, his Eastern Conference was one of the toughest conferences in NBA history. You had Ewing's Knicks, Larry Johnson's Hornets, Mark Price and Brad Daugherty's Cavs. You had Shaq and Penny on the Magic, Tim Hardaway and Alonzo Mourning on the Heat. You had Mutombo's Hawks and Reggie Miller's Pacers. Some all-time great teams that Jordan prevented from winning championships. And if you want to know how dominant Jordan was with his team during that stretch, they were 19-1 versus the East, 6-0 versus the West, 25-1 versus the NBA. They beat 10 50-win teams and 7 60-win teams. The NBA at this time had absolutely no chance with Michael Jordan on the Chicago Bulls. And if you still doubt how good Jordan's competition was that he dominated, I want you to look at this. Out of the toughest playoff runs in NBA history, ranked by opponents' win percentage, Jordan's Bulls have 3 out of the top 10 toughest playoff runs in NBA history. The 97 Bulls, the 98
Bulls. Who got number 1, though? I think I know who got number 1.
Bulls,
Let me stop, y'all. Let me stop.
The only other team that has 3 runs in the top 10 is Kobe's Lakers. So that right there goes to show you
Damn.
that Jordan had some tough
Maybe it was the
competition,
Lakers.
but he
It was
still
probably Kobe.
dominated
Damn.
that great
Damn.
competition. So
Shout
that
out
is
Kobe
reason
though.
number
R.P.
6
Kobe,
of why
man.
Jordan is the greatest player of all time. Now at reason number 5, we have the fact that he never created a super team. And like I said, Jordan was playing in a tough Eastern Conference, and early on in his career, he was getting beat down by the Celtics as well as the Pistons numerous times. And during that time, he did not leave Chicago and go form another dominant super team. He stayed with the Bulls and he stuck with the process, and he ended up winning 6 championships
Definitely
because
did.
of that. Other modern superstars like LeBron, KD, Kawhi, they have left their team numerous
LeBron.
times
Why you
to
say
go form
LeBron
other
name like
teams
that, man?
with other all-stars.
Chill,
Jordan simply did not do
That's a
that.
fact.
He
That's a
stuck with his
fact, though.
team and his one all-star teammate,
Stuck it out.
that being Scottie Pippen.
Dogged
And
it
that
out.
kind of segues
For
from the
real.
point that Jordan never played on a super team, and I'm going to say that twice. Jordan never played on a super team. He played on a really good team that made some good draft picks and some good free agent moves. But those Bulls teams were not a super team. The first three-peat Bulls were a team that was built around Jordan with a young Scottie Pippen who was entering his prime. The role players they had were decent role players. You had guys like B.J. Armstrong, John Paxson, Bill Cartwright, Scott Williams, and Horace Grant, who's underrated. But outside of that, you did not have much help for Jordan, and that team was not a dominant super team. Now, when talking about the second three-peat Bulls, they did add Dennis Rodman, but still they were not a super team. And Rodman at this time was still a great defender, but he was not in his absolute prime. His prime was on the Detroit.
Wait, bro. Come on, bro. I don't like when people say this though. Is a super team only when you do it unnaturally? Is that what we going with now? If that's the case, then I agree. I don't agree with it being that, but I agree if you're saying that a super team is only if you do it unnaturally, then I agree that Jordan's Bulls was not a super team. But if the proof is in the pudding, my brother, the numbers is there. Men lie, women lie, numbers do not. They are wild and they was killing everybody. You know? They one of them, bro. That's all I gotta say, man. They one of them.
Pistons,
They one of
not
them.
on the Chicago Bulls. And this Bulls team also, once again, had Scottie Pippen. But this
They
time,
they not a super team, but the super team they'll face super teams and people argue that they'll beat them. You know, so it's like, what do we call? What is the definition of a super team then,
was
man?
older, and he dealt with a lot of injuries during the second three-peat.
Okay, he's saying he never created a super team. Okay, but to say he wasn't on a super team, you gotta let me know what a super
You
team
had
is
Ron
then.
Harper, a solid
Word.
defender. Steve Kerr, a solid shooter. You had Tony Kukoc off the bench, a great sixth man. You had a Luke Longley, a solid big man. And that Bulls three-peat team was undoubtedly a great team. But they were not a super team. And Michael Jordan, he never played on a super team, and he never joined a super team.
Why not? Wait, why not though, gang? You just saying that they wasn't. You know, you're saying a whole bunch of old players because you know a lot of people don't know these guys. We don't know these guys a lot. Of course, we don't know these guys. But why wasn't they a super team? Everything points to them being a super team, my brother. They dominated the competition years straight. So it's like, or what's the argument here? How are they not a super team, man? Jordan definitely didn't create the super team. He stuck it out, grinded out. The organization did right, you know, and they got there. But to say that they was never a super team or had a super team caliber status, like, come on, bro.
Now,
It was a
reason
super
number four
team,
would be
man.
The fact that Jordan
It was
is
a
the
great
best
super
player
team,
in
man.
NBA history. And if you go through all the film, you can find numerous times where Jordan hit clutch game-winning shots. And if you want to look at
That's
the
a
NBA
fact.
Finals, Jordan has some iconic moments. Of course, in '98, he had the amazing shot. And that
People were
entire
saying that was a
season
push-off,
stretch.
like,
In
that got me
97, he
tight.
had the buzzer beater in Game 1. And he also had a clutch 3 in Game 5 of that series, which was the flu game. And if you looked at other forgotten moments in the '91 finals, he had a big-time shot that tied the game and sent it to overtime. In '92, he had these series-clinching free throws that gave their Bulls their second championship. In '93, He had numerous clutch plays on the stretch, and he had all but 2 of the Bulls' points in that fourth quarter. Now, that right there is just watching the games and seeing how good Jordan was, but if you want the actual stats of how clutch Jordan was, I'm going to show you right now. And unfortunately, these stats only go back to 97, so we don't have data for Jordan's prime. But just looking at Jordan's stats in the clutch and his fourth quarter stats in the 97, as well as the 98 playoffs, here is what you get. Jordan, for both these runs, keep in mind both these runs, was first in fourth quarter points per game, first in fourth quarter total points, first in fourth quarter finals points per game, first in fourth quarter total finals points, first in clutch points per game, which would last 5 minutes of the game with a score within 5 points. He was first in total clutch points, and he was also first in total clutch time points in the finals. And keep in mind, that is for both the 98 as well as the 97 playoff run. No other player in NBA history was first in all those categories for a single playoff run besides Michael Jordan, and he did that twice back to back. So if you want to go the stat route on who's the most clutch, that right there is some damning evidence. Now, another thing I want to look at is how Jordan performs in the big-time games. In Game 7's Jordan for his career only went to 3, but in those games, he averaged 34, 8, and 7. In elimination games, Jordan...
That's a lot. Well, I'm just going to say this, though. Bron got better. Bron is a Game 7 king. Argue me if you want to. Bron is a Game 7 king.
Averaged 31, 8, and 7. Once again, very good.
Look at what Bron averages in the Game 7. Look what Bron averages in Game 7, man. I gotta show love for Bron, man, because he's getting killed right now. He's getting buried. You know? So I gotta show some love.
Assists. So Jordan definitely showed up in the big-time clutch games. Now, at reason number 3, we have the fact that Jordan is the most influential player in NBA history.
For real,
and
though.
In the league, Jordan was drafted in 84,
100%
and that was with Magic and Bird still in the league. And after they retired, he took the torch and became the face of the NBA. And with Jordan being the face of the league, he took the game global at the 92 Olympics. He was the most famous American athlete at the time, and he revolutionized what it meant to be an athlete on and off the court, with endorsements as well as shoe deals. And Jordan, he really was the first global NBA star who was known worldwide. And the NBA today would not be the same if it was not for Michael Jordan having a huge influence on the international basketball culture. And I think one thing that Jordan had an underrated impact in is that he showed teams as well as GMs that you don't need a big man to win a championship. Prior to Jordan winning 6 championships, it was common knowledge you needed a dominant big man to win. You needed a guy like Wilt, Moses, Bill Russell, Kareem, Hakeem. You needed a dominant big man to win championships. And Jordan, he changed that, and he revolutionized what it meant to be a score-first guard. And he had a huge impact on guys like Kobe, Vince Carter, T-Mac, Allen Iverson, all guys who would go on to influence future generations. So I think Jordan, being the most influential player of all time, only contributes to his case as the GOAT. Now, at reason number 2 of why Jordan is the GOAT is because he has so many iconic and memorable moments. I'm going to name a couple, but there's just tons and tons of iconic games as well as iconic moments. The first one I can think of is game winner in the national championship at UNC when he was a freshman. Now it's kind of the start of Jordan becoming a super...
his career, bro. He got some moments. Oh, my God.
...superstar, not only in college, but also...
He was so ahead of his time. That's really what it is, bro. That's why I'm not having a problem with calling Michael Jordan the GOAT, bro. Because he was so much ahead of his time that anybody that's done seeing the highlights and still says LeBron is a GOAT or anyone else is a GOAT is just blind or delusional, you know. And I'm not blind or delusional, my brothers and sisters. I gotta see clearly.
So for NBA fans, the 8-8 slam dunk contest is also iconic. Hit the free throw line dunk that won the contest versus Dominique. Hit the 55-point game, the double nickel in Madison Square Garden, only a few games after his comeback. He has the playoff record 63 points with the Boston Celtics, the most ever in NBA history, and he did that against 5 Hall of Famers. He has the shrug game in the finals, where he had 6 threes in the first half, including a record 35 first half points. He had the game in 91 where he switched hands in
Hands in midair.
for absolutely no reason. Just another iconic moment for Michael Jordan. And the last three iconic Jordan moments that really stick out to me are the flu game in '97, when the Bulls were down 16 points, but Jordan would find a way to score 38 points, including a clutch three-pointer that would give the Bulls a Game 5 victory. And of course, you have the shot over Craig Elo, one of the most iconic moments in sports history. He fakes right, goes left, hangs in the air, holds his pose, shoots it, nothing but net, and he fist pumps at the end. Just an iconic and extraordinary moment. But the most iconic moment in Jordan's career, and possibly in NBA history, and is definitely up there for sports history.
You know it's iconic when them chills went through your body. Don't trip, y'all. You're not alone. Even though I'm a LeBron fan, I still be getting the chills, man. Don't trip. I still be getting the chills. I love basketball, so it's like I can't deny greatness. Can't deny greatness. Greatness is gonna overcome whatever you know.
Is Jordan's last shot as a Bull in Game 6 of the '98 Finals. And everyone knows this shot, drives right, pulls back, and hits nothing but net, and gives the Bulls...
Some people were saying this was a push-off. Like, shut the fuck. Yo, what? I done seen some real nasty push-offs in my day, man. That's so nice of MJ to not even, he didn't even go across his body with the push-off, you heard? He literally stopped. He went like this. From right here, he's dribbling with the ball. From right here to right here. He didn't even go past his left leg with the push-off, you heard? And then pulls back with it. Perfect form. Keep the joint up. Actually, my fault. Let me act right. Keep the joint up till it goes in. Game time. Bye. Like, what? Don't get me tight. People saying that was a push-off. You must be dumb. Dumb. You gotta extend your joint to be a push-off, man. He didn't extend. The dude was right on him. He gave him a little huh. Come here. A little huh. Come here.
Their 6th championship. Just another iconic moment for the
brother, look at the jumper though.
Now, the last reason I have of why Michael Jordan
I gotta get him back in the lab, bro.
Is the fact that he has the highest peak in NBA history from 1987 to 1993. And
I'm sorry for pausing so much, but the dude averaged 37, and once I found that out, I realized I might be a little crazy, but it wasn't my fault. I ain't know.
During this stretch,
that's why research is
was
good.
the most athletic player in the NBA, could dunk on anybody, had great handles, great shooting ability. He was actually a good three-point shooter, a great mid-range shooter, and a good free throw shooter, and he could score at all 3 levels. Also, during this run, Jordan was at his defensive peak, and he was an absolute menace on the defensive end. When it came to shot blocking, he was a great shot blocker. When it came to getting the passing lanes and getting steals, he was also amazing at that. He was also an underrated rebounder on the defensive glass as well as the offensive glass. So prime Jordan from 87 to 93, that in my opinion is the best basketball player of all time. And right now, I'm going to prove that to you. During this stretch, Jordan was 7-time first-team All-NBA, 6-time All-Defensive First Team. He was a 1-time Defensive Player of the Year. He also won MVP that same season. A 7-time scoring champion, all those being in a row, and a 3-time MVP. And when it came to playoffs, Jordan averaged 35 points a game,
in
6 assists,
6 years,
7 boards, 2.3 steals, and 1 block game on 50, 36, and 84 splits. He had no flaws in his game. And when it came to the NBA Finals, Jordan was even better than he was in the overall playoffs. As in the finals, he averaged 36 points per game, 7.8 assists, 6.6 boards, 2.0 steals on 53, 42, and 81 splits. Once again, great all around, and during this time, he won 3 championships and won 3 finals MVPs. And in each of those final series, Jordan showcased something different about his game. In '91, he averaged 11.4 assists, the most ever for a non-point guard or a player not named Magic Johnson. In the '92 finals, he shot 43% from 3 after the media said he couldn't shoot it. And in '93, he averaged 41 points per game, an NBA Finals record. So that right there is why I would say Jordan had the greatest peak in NBA history. And after that, that is my 10
Yeah.
reasons of why I say Michael Jordan is the greatest basketball player of all time. And I know this video
Yeah.
was pretty long, pretty lengthy, had a lot of facts, a lot of data, but I think this
Yep.
video definitely had to be made. And if you watch this video,
Bron. I ain't gonna lie, y'all. I feel like, I ain't gonna lie. After seeing all this, bro, and after all the videos I've done, I just feel like, does LeBron even have a chance? Because MJ was so superior over his era and so dominant over his era, had such an impact. It's impossible. It's like impossible for Braun to do that again, you know? It's impossible. If Braun was Curry, if Braun was Braun with Curry jump shot, that's like the only way it would happen. It would have happened, bro. But Curry did it first. He extended the range on the threes. Everybody shooting long threes. And now people, I see on the comments too. People saying Curry to face the NBA. I'm not mad of it. I'm not mad of it. You know, like I'm a little tired. I can't even speak right now. I'm gonna end this video, y'all. I gotta go to sleep. Let me know what y'all feel about what I just said, though, man. I'm out of here. Appreciate y'all for watching.